I'd like to welcome y'all back to the Beyond the Fear podcast, the place where y'all come for motivation, inspiration, and an overall positive word. Today's message was inspired by a conversation I was having with one of my coworkers. Shout out to Tony. And that message is stop waiting until you're about to lose someone to start appreciating them. And I think that that's something that we all go through. All of us, if we're being honest with ourselves, can point to a time where we took somebody or something for granted. We didn't appreciate um, how good someone or something was until they were gone or until we were just about to lose them. And we got to stop doing that. We got to start appreciating things and the people in our lives while they're here, while we have the opportunity to appreciate them, whether that's a parent, a sibling, a spouse, a co-worker, somebody you just look up to, whoever or whatever the situation is. We got to start appreciating it. And again, that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that that person is perfect. It doesn't mean that the situation is perfect, but if it's a good situation, if it's something good or if it's someone good, just start appreciating it. Don't wait until you're about to lose that thing or lose that person to start appreciating them, to start doing right by them, to start doing right by these people around you who bring a lot of positivity or a lot of good things into your life. Appreciate it right now. Appreciate it while you can, because I'm pretty sure if you were on the other side and you were that good person and you were doing good by somebody else, you would want to feel appreciated. And when you don't feel appreciated, that's when you stop doing the things that you were doing. That's when you stop going that extra mile. That's when you stop trying as hard. That's when you stop going as hard for that person, because you don't feel appreciated. So especially with that saying that's going around now, or that's being talked about so much, go where you're appreciated, not tolerated. So definitely there's a lot of truth to that. And if you don't appreciate these people, they will go where they are appreciated instead of staying where they're just tolerated. So man, dog, like my message to y'all right now is really take count of who are those good people in your lives and really start being appreciative of them. Because one thing that I do know and I have realized is that, man, it's hard to come by good friends, real friends, just good people, like real, genuine, good people who do things out of the kindness of their heart. They're not looking or expecting anything in return and not asking for anything in return. They just want to be a good friend or a good person to you. And if you have those type of people in your lives, man, they're worth their weight in gold. Because what you start to realize is that a lot of people who are around you are only around you because of something that you can do for them or something that they can get from you. Or, you know what I'm saying? They're using you in some type of way and you might be using them, vice versa. So, you know what I'm saying? It goes both ways. But those people who are genuinely in your life and don't need nor want anything from you, they're just naturally a good person and they're being a good person to you. You need to do what you need to do to make sure that you are appreciating those people, because that's such a rarity and we take those things for granted because they're in our lives so long. You know what I'm saying? One thing that, like, for example, me, one thing that I know that I take for granted is my mother. My mother is a great person, a great woman. You know what I'm saying? She's done so much for me. There is no way that I could ever, you know, repay her. There's no way that I could ever thank her for every single thing that she's ever done for me and still doing for me to this day. But what I can do is just appreciate her, do the little things that to show her that I appreciate her, to tell her thank you. And you know what I'm saying? Just genuinely appreciate the things that she's done for me, and more importantly, the things that she's still doing for me to this day. I don't think the scales will ever be even, because like I said, I don't think I could ever repay her for everything that she's done. But the least that I could do is just show thanks, show appreciation for the things that she has done. And so that's what I'm doing my best to do, is just be there, show up for her the way she's shown up for me. And it's it's not hard. It's really not. It really isn't. Like, there's no excuse for me not to do it. There was no excuse for me not to have been doing it, other than the fact that I was just taking her being there for granted. And, as she's getting older, she's had conversations with us about, what she wants when she's no longer here. And it's just like, it really just hits you in that moment. Like, you know what I'm saying? People aren't always going to be there. And it's not something that you want to think about, but it's something that makes you, well, at least makes me, it's something that made me really start to appreciate everything that she has done and everything that she's doing, because there will come a day when I'm going to open my eyes and she's just not going to be there. And that's going to be tough for me. But you know what I'm saying? That's even more reason to appreciate her while she's here, and to give her flowers and to give her thanks while she's here. So I know she's going to watch this. So I just want to take the time to just say thank you, Mom. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. You mean the world to me. You already know. Maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't know, but I know that I cannot thank you enough for the things that you have done for me. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm truly, truly blessed, and you are a great mother. I know that you made some mistakes. I know that you made some bad decisions. I know, but I also know that you did the best that you could with what you knew how, with what you had. You did the best that you could with what you had, with the resources and the knowledge that you had. And I know that if you could go back in time with the knowledge that you have now, you would have done a better job. But I am so thankful and I'm so blessed to have had you as a mother in the life that I've had. So I just want to take the time to say thank you, and that I appreciate you. And I hope that you feel the sincerity in this message. But now, getting back to the conversation, we really have to start appreciating, and again, not just the people, the things. If you have a working car, if you have a good job, if you are living in a decent area, in a good area, I mean, it's just so many things that we have to start being appreciative of. And it's things that we take for granted every single day. Things like running water, inside plumbing. I know a few months ago, I heard Shannon Sharp talk about how he didn't take a shower or use the bathroom, something like that, inside the house until he got to college or got to the pros or something like that. And it's just like, we got to start appreciating those small things, like, being able to have AC, being able to have lights, like I said, running water, drinking water. So many things that we take for granted is like things that we really need to be appreciative of. But I also understand the other side of I understand the taking it for granted, because it's stuff that we've always had. There's certain things that, well, some of us, others that haven't always had these luxuries. But for a lot of us, we've always had lights. We've always had water. We've always had plumbing. So it's easy to take these things for granted when you've always had them and you don't know what it's like not to have them. Or obviously, when storms come, things like that, you know what I'm saying? But you don't know what it's like to not have it, meaning like for years at a time or for months at a time, you don't know what it's like not to have. You may know what it's like to have it for not have it for a couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks, because of hurricanes and, what I'm saying, because of storms knock the power out and X, Y, and Z. But when it comes to just not having it for months or for years, a lot of us don't know what that's like. So we're appreciative of it. So, for example, for me, I've had my mom my entire life. So it was easy, or it's been easy for me to take her for granted because she's always been there. I don't know what it's like to not have her in my life. I may know what it's like to not have her around because I may be living somewhere else. I might be living in a different state than what she's living in, but I could always call. You know what I'm saying? I could always get in touch with her. I could always hear her voice when I needed to hear her voice. So I don't know what it's like not to have my mom in my life. So it would be easy, or it was easy for me to take her for granted because I didn't have to live without her. So I understand when you don't have to live without something, or you haven't had to live without something, or it's been a long time. Let's say you've been married to your lady or to your spouse, whoever it may be, for 30, 40 years. Your spouse has been in your life for 30, 40 years. You know, it's been around for 30, 40 years. So you don't even remember what it's like to not have that person around. So it's easy to take things and people for granted when they've been there for a long time, because you start to forget what life was like before they were around or before you had these things. So it's easy to take things for granted, you know. And one of the things for me, besides my mom, that I take for granted is my car. I do what I need to do as far as the upkeep, as far as like oil changes, tires, things like that. But I don't keep it in the cleanest of conditions. And that's something that I need to start working on, because I need to be very appreciative of my car, because that's my lifeline that gets me to and from work, that gets me everywhere I need to be. So, you know what I'm saying? I need to start being way more appreciative of that and quit taking it for granted that it's going to always be there for me. And, you know, that it's not going to break down, because there's a chance that it could happen. So I have to definitely, I need to do a better job of being appreciative of that. But, you know, just again, getting back to the conversation with me and my coworker, it just goes to show you that unfortunately it's so easy to take things for granted and to take people for granted. And sometimes it takes us potentially losing those things and those people to realize how special those things and how special those people are, and how much they mean to us, and how much they've impacted our lives, and how big of a hole there would be if these people or these things left. You know what I'm saying? And we were just kind of sitting back and we were talking, and it's just crazy how we become so reliant and interdependent on certain things and certain people, but we don't appreciate them. We just take them for granted. And like I said, part of that is because how long they've been in our lives. We forget what life was like before they were there. We forget what life was like when we didn't have these people and these things. So it's so easy to take it for granted when it's been there so consistently, you know. But man, it's definitely crazy to start to think about, if we just take that, if we just for practice take certain things away, just mentally, just, man, what would life be like if this wasn't there? What would life be like if this person wasn't there? And then we start to realize what's important. We start to realize that, man, life would be so different if this wasn't around, or if that wasn't around, if I didn't have this, or whatever the case is. And sometimes it can even be scary, like how important some people are, how easier certain people make life, you know. And that's why for me it's just so important to appreciate those people, and to give those people their flowers, and to show people that love, and definitely return, you know what I'm saying, those favors, and return that love to those people, and make sure that they feel the appreciation, and they feel the love, and they feel the how important they are to you. Like, let those people know how important they are, because I know sometimes we think, oh, well, they know. Like, my mom knows how important she is to me, but maybe, and even if she does, it's still, I should still tell her. I should still give her um her flowers. I should still let her know how important she is to me. Like, even if she already knows, I know it still would feel good to hear it. You know what I'm saying? And again, and the reason why I know that is because I understand how important it is to hear it, just like in a job. Like if I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm working my butt off, and I'm one of the few workers who's doing what they're supposed to be doing, and you don't have to question me, you don't have to babysit me, you don't have to do none of that. It does feel good, even if I know, even if I already know that my managers and whatever appreciate me, it's still good to hear that. Like it's still good to hear that I'm doing a great job, that I'm a great worker, that they appreciate that thing I did last Monday or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Even though I may already know it, it still feels good to actually hear, no, thank you. Or, man, we really appreciate you came through for us. So even if my mom already knows it, I know that it'll still feel good to hear it, to hear it verbalized that you still appreciate it, or just to show her, and doing both, showing her and telling her, letting her know that I do appreciate the things that you do. And I think that it's so important to do those things and to recognize the people in our lives who help make our lives smoother, who help make our daily life uh easier, who help to just keep us going, keep us motivated, keep pushing us. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, and that's another thing for me that I'm realizing that's important, is having those people to push you, to push back. When you say something, and don't have just a bunch of yes men. Have those people who can push back against something you're saying. Have those people who can push you, to keep pushing you when you ready to just kind of give up, or you ready to slow down, or you just ready to stop it. To have those people to keep pushing you, or to pull you, or to tell you, what, you're not done, your job ain't done, you got to keep going. Man, it's so important to have those people. And I'm starting to understand that part now, because I didn't have a lot of that growing up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a lot of people pushing me to keep doing this and to keep doing that. I just had people who were like, more so like, okay, you want to quit football? Okay, you want to stop doing this? All right, whatever makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? And so I didn't understand the importance of having people to push you, and having people to put that to oppose what you're trying to do, when they know that you're doing wrong, or they know that you're giving up too early, or they start to see a pattern in you, like, no, all you do is give up when times get hard. I'm not going to let you give up on this. So, there's importance to that too. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just about the people who come in and show love and it's all flowers and support and all that stuff. You need those people to give that other type of support, that pushback support. And I never understood the importance of it because I never had it. So it wasn't until I got older and I quit blaming everybody else and I started to look inward and started to take accountability for the things that I was doing, that I started to realize how important it is to have those people to give you pushback, for those people to help push you along, for those people to help motivate you in other ways. You know what I'm saying? To have those people who started on the same journey that you started on, but because they didn't give up, they're a lot further than you, and they, what I'm saying, just to push you, just to and just to keep motivating you in a positive way, to keep pushing and to get through the hard times, because they're showing you that, man, yes, this journey that you're on is a lot of hard work, but once you get through the tough parts of it, what I'm saying, getting to the other side of, the hard work or the tough part of whatever it is that you're going through. And once you get to the other side of it, it's worth it. And I just didn't have enough people close enough to me to, what I'm saying, to give me that. And part of that is on me, because maybe there were people who were trying, and instead of listening, I just distanced myself. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's definitely something that I have worked, or something that I am working on to get better at. So that way, when I do have people who I know are trying to push me, motivate me, and support me in that type of way, I'm trying to keep those people close because I know that those are the people that I'm going to need when times get hard, um, when things are getting tough. And I know that there's going to be, and again, because I've been doing it for so long, I know that my mindset isn't going to do a complete 180 in a couple of months. When I've been doing it for over 30 years, I know there's going to be a piece of me that's going to want to be like, it'll be so much easier just to not do it or just to let go. And I got to rely on that piece of me. Oh, I got to rely on the people around me to give me that motivation when I can't find it within myself, or give me that inspiration, or give me that push when I can't do it by myself, when I don't have it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to always have the self motivation. I'm not always going to have that self push, that self drive. There are going to be times when I need, you know, the people around me to give me that push, to give me that motivation. But it's also going to be up to me to listen to them and to take the motivation when they give it. So it's all a part of learning. It's all a part of growing up and understanding the things that you need, understanding yourself, understanding your shortcomings, where you fall, the places where you're going to fall short, the places where you have enough to get through on your own, and the places where you need your friends to help you. One of the places where I need my friends is when times are hard. I just need that little bit of motivation. I understand that now, and so I'm more open to hearing it. I'm more open to um, accepting it now because I understand now. I understand it a lot better what they're trying to do. It could, because for the longest time I would look at it as, oh, they just nagging me, and that's nowhere near the case. They're really just trying to help push me through the tough times, because they already know, because they may have gone through it, that man, there's gonna be some dark days, but once you get through those, it's definitely worth it. But if you don't have the self motivation to get through it by yourself, you definitely need those people around you who can fill those voids that that you have. And so that's one thing that I do understand about myself, is that that where my shortcomings are is I don't always self motivate. I don't always have that self motivation, that self drive. And so for me, I definitely have to do better with accepting people's motivations and not hearing them when they're motivating me, not hearing it as nagging, and hearing it for what it truly is. And that's them trying to help push me forward and push me past the tough times and the dark days that I got to go through to get to what I want. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I say, I understand that now. I understand that for whatever dream, no matter what it is that I want, whatever dream it may be, there's going to be hard work, tough times, dark days, and sacrifices that I have to go through. And so just even understanding that by itself has helped me. And now understanding where my shortcomings are is helping me as well. And now I just have to start finding ways to do better with my self motivation and my self drive. But to get back to what we were talking about, that's why for me it's so important to appreciate those people who fill those roles for me in my life, whether that's a co-worker, it can be anybody who, you know what I'm saying, at a time when I just need that little extra piece of motivation or that extra piece of inspiration, they can fill that void for me. I know I can text that person. They can be like, stop complaining. You know what I'm saying? You knew what it was going to be. You knew what it was going to take. Get off your behind, do what you need to do. And for me, again, now that I'm in the mindset that I'm in, I'm very appreciative of it. Back then, I was, I, I wanted to avoid those people. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, I don't want to hear this. But, now that I'm just, again, understanding what I need to understand, and I'm better at it, I understand that that's what I need. And I was avoiding what I needed. I was avoiding those conversations because I knew they were right. And I didn't want to hear it, and I didn't want to admit it, but they were right. I knew, well, I know what I need to do. I know that I need to go harder when it comes to this. I know that I need to do better when it comes to that. And I was avoiding certain people because I didn't want to hear it, but excuse me, I needed to hear it. but I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready to hear it. So when I did hear it, I wasn't hearing it for what it truly was. I was hearing it as nagging, and I wasn't hearing it as motivation. I wasn't hearing it as these are the people in my corner supporting me, giving me the words of encouragement that I need. But because I wasn't ready for it, all I heard was nagging, and all I heard was complaining. And that's how I took it. That's how I took all of that, instead of taking it as, them truly trying to be there for me and give me what I need. Like, this is real friendship. You know what I'm saying? I was taking it more like, man, get off me, man. You're doing too much. And it was like, nah, they're not. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. I'm the one who's being extra by not listening and not taking it for what it is. And it's taken a lot of time, and I've pushed a lot of people away because of um, my unwillingness to take motivation. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? If you climbing ladders, and you moving forward in life, and you got friends who just want to stay still in life and are okay with just being in places that they don't need to be in. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I was. I would complain about wanting more, but I didn't want to put the work in. I would complain about a better job, but never wanted to take any classes, go get any certifications, nothing. I didn't show a lot of drive at work to show any supervisor, hey, you know what, he could do this. Oh man, let's see how he handles more responsibility, and things like that. I wasn't doing anything. So I'm just sitting there complaining about wanting stuff, but I wasn't willing to put in the work. And so I don't blame the people. Now that I'm being accountable, I don't blame the people who chose once I pushed them away, who chose to stay away. I completely understand, because now that I'm on the other side, and now I see people pushing me away as I'm trying to motivate them, I kind of understand like where my friends were back then, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not mad at it. I completely understand, because it does get frustrating when you see greatness in someone, and you see so much potential in someone, but either they don't see it in themselves, or they don't want to put the work in to bring that potential out, you know what I'm saying, and to get the best out of themselves. They don't want to go through those tough times. They don't want to go through that hard work. They don't want to go through those dark days and things like that. And it's just like, it's just tough. It's tough to watch, because because it reminds me so much of who I used to be. You know what I'm saying? And two, I hate seeing people that I care about waste their potential. But at the same time, I start to see, and I start to realize how some of my friends who were trying to motivate me back then felt about me. And it's just like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I can only do but so much, because I understand that there's nothing I can do to force you to do what you need to do. You either want to do it or you don't. So the only thing I can really do is just, be there. Hopefully my actions, and they see that I'm doing things, and they see that I'm going through things, but I'm pushing through, and I'm continuing to fight, and I'm continuing to move forward. Hopefully it motivates them. But if they are anything like how I was, it probably ain't going to do anything. It's probably going to take something way closer to home, to really motivate them. It's going to take something really happening in their inner circle to kind of push them. And that's what it took. That's what it took for me. Was just some things happening with people who I was very close with, to kind of shake me up. And it kind of made me start realizing, man, you've been living life in neutral, and that's what I've been doing. I've been living life for years in neutral, just not going anywhere. I've been spinning my wheels, not going anywhere, and sometimes even going backwards. So for me, I got mind and drive now. And so now I'm doing I'm getting to where I'm doing everything, or doing the things that I need to be doing. Are there days when I fall short? Are there times when I fall short? Yes, completely, 100%. That's just me taking accountability. But I'm pushing and striving to do better every single day and trying to get to where I need to be, because I don't want to continue living my life in neutral. I want to, start moving and start moving, not just start moving forward and quit looking back, or start moving forward and then, oh, this is too hard. Now let me put it in reverse and go back to where I was. I don't want to do that. I want to have the drive, the energy, the motivation, the push that I need to push through these walls and make these breakthroughs. And I feel the breakthroughs coming. You know what I'm saying? I know that they're getting ready to come. I don't know when, but when I hit that wall, I know that I have I'm confident that I'll have what I need to break through that wall and start making my breakthroughs and start getting to where I know I'm destined to be. And I know, because I know that the main thing, or the first thing, it starts with me and believing in myself and believing that I have more in me, more potential in me, and more than what I'm doing, all of this stuff. And so that part of it, I already have. I know that there's more that I can be doing. I already know that there's um, better ways to be spending my energy and my time and things like that. So I'm trying my best to start doing those things little by little, piece by piece, day by day, because I understand that it ain't gonna all change in one day, or it's not all gonna change in 1 week, 1 month, any of that. But as long as these days of progression start to add up, I can look back a month from right now and I can say, okay, I'm doing better than I was. Just like I can look back a month ago, 2 months ago, and there are things that I'm doing better in my personal life. There's things that I'm doing better at work. I'm handling situations better. So day by day, things are getting better, and I'm pushing forward. And for me, that's all that matters. Is just progress, and I'm okay with slow progress. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with that. It used to frustrate me, but now I'm okay with it because I understand that this is a process. I understand that this is a relay race and not a sprint. So I do understand that some things are going to take time and I got to have patience. And so this is allowing me to work on my patience, but I will get there. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter how long it takes me as long as I get there. But just to wrap today's conversation up, man, it's so important to start appreciating the things and the people that are in your life who help your life who are helping your life in some type of or any type of positive way. Be thankful for those people, appreciate those people. Stop waiting until those people are ready to walk out your life or ready to walk out the door to start appreciating them. Take this time now to start appreciating those people and the things that they do for you, no matter how big or how small those things are. Even if they do the little list of things, just taking you to work every now and then, whatever it may be, appreciate those people, man, because they won't, they may come a time when they're not there. And then you really realize how clutch they came, how clutch they were, and how they really came in and helped you in your time of need. You know what I'm saying? Again, like I said, I don't care if it was something big or something small. Help is help. So just start appreciating those people who are there for you, man. And again, mama, love you. Thank you so much. Very appreciative for everything that you do. And to everybody watching, I'm sorry, to everybody listening on whatever platforms, y'all already know, thank you for taking the time to listen. And to everybody watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, and share. I want to continue growing. And again, thank y'all for taking the time to support me in any and every way that y'all have. And I want y'all to have a blessed day.